I'm Dr. Gil Singletary. I've lived a life of both poverty and prosperity. My roots, well, they run deep. With me, I'm the same person in any environment. My journey to success has taken me to high and low places. I've been on local and national television, including radio, and I've packed auditoriums all around the world. But I've also passed out needles in crack houses, spoken to addicts about HIV and places to seek help when they're ready to make a change. I've ventured into some of the country's most prestigious corporate boardrooms, and I've also lectured to prisoners in some of the toughest maximum security prisons around the world. I've been fortunate enough to travel the world, teaching, training, motivating, inspiring leaders and generations to be the change they wish to see in the world. I have a message for all audiences. I am the voice of the people.
You see, the frustration that you feel is that you know that they're much smarter than what they really are. You know that they're so much better than what they're presenting. But let me tell you what their problems are. They're being reduced to two basic primitive states, and that's thinking and feeling, and they don't know anything about the two. And those two basic primitive states is emotions and feelings. The only emotion that they know is anger. That's it. And the only thing that they feel is pain. When I was a therapist in practice, I had a client. I used to work with clients with emotional, severe mental illness. And I had a client that I was working with, and he came in and I asked him, I said, pull your shirt up. Let me just see your shirt. He wouldn't pull his sleeve up. I said, okay. A month later, I asked him the same question. This time we've established rapport, we built a relationship. But before I asked him the question this time, I say, I know why you don't want to pull your shirt up for me. I say, because when you pull your sleeve up, you're gonna show me that you've been cutting yourself. He said, Doc, how do you know I've been cutting myself? I said, just pull your sleeve up. I just want to see how high you got, man. I just want to see if you got to your shoulders yet. So he pulled his sleeve up, and I was about right. He was top of his bicep. And he said, Doc, how did you know I've been cutting myself? I said, man, because since the day you sat down in this room, all you've talked about was pain. That's all you've ever talked about is pain. And after a while, when you talk about pain so much, the pain becomes numbing. And the pain becomes numbing, so after a while, you have to do something to feel the pain. Many of the kids in your classroom, when they come in your class, they're dealing with a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And when you see them fighting and hitting someone and being aggressive and being violent, you got to remember, pain is all they know. Pain is all they know. They've been reduced to two emotional states. Anger and pain. That's it. And the pain is what's with them every single day. When my juvenile client said to me, crazy, you feel me? What he was trying to say is, Doc, I'm in so much pain that I can't explain it to you. And when he said, you feel me? He was asking me, do I feel him? Which is an impossibility. But he asked me that because he don't feel anything. So when you hear these young guys say it, you feel me, I just want you to think about that for a second. Think about where they're coming from. Because there's a qualitative difference between what we think and what we feel. Don't allow the pain that he feels to blemish your responsibility as a teacher. An EMT guy arrived in a very tragic, deadly car accident scene. He found a lone survivor when he got there. And the reason why he found a lone survivor is because he heard the survivor screaming and he was hollering. He was hollering for help. He was in pain. When he found the lone survivor, he said to him, he said, sir, he said, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much pain are you in? And the man was crying, bleeding profusely. He said, why are you asking me about pain? Can't you see I'm dying here, fool? And he started cursing him out, using all kind of profanity. You got to be the dumbest person I've ever met. You asking me about my pain, and you see my leg is twisted up to my butt. EMT looked at him, he said, sir, if you're in pain, that means you're still alive. And then he started saying, my pain is about a 9 right now, sir. When he said, if you're in pain, that means you're still alive. If you stop feeling pain, that means you're dead. Somebody tell me what happened though. He was able to connect what he was thinking with what he was feeling. And the moment he was able to make that bridge, he was able to make that connection, he was able to appreciate the moment. It crystallized the moment for him. Because now, all of a sudden, pain was not a bad thing anymore. When little Johnny come in your classroom, he's cursing, fussing at you like the lone survivor, all Lil Johnny is trying to tell you is that he in pain. What's your job to do with Lil Johnny? How do you get Lil Johnny to understand, Lil Johnny, if you feel that pain, that means you're still alive. You need to find a way to connect Lil Jon's pain with what he's feeling and what he's thinking. That's the key. Because the moment that you can do that, and you can take his suffering to be an asset instead of a weakness, and let Lil Jon know, if you can make it through this, you see the thing about that little small town from Pahokee, that if you can make it from that little small town, if you can make it from Cleveland, Mississippi, because it's much like my little small town, they need to know, if you can make it from Cleveland, Mississippi, you can make it anywhere. And that's how you take that pain that they feel and you turn it around.